Try to hurt them.
But
Stop.
where do you see Muslims are doing that then? And then it
Well, I've
points to our
seen it on
scriptures.
TV a lot.
Okay, so you've seen it on the TV.
Yeah.
So then you're talking about what the media wants you to see, right? This is what
That's
the media.
true. Like the celebrations, they were passing out candy, and they said, "Oh, they're celebrating the World Trade Center fell."
I'm not sure what you're
You
talking
seen
about
that?
there.
It was in Palestine. It was really neat. They were passing out food, and then they used those clips of the people happy getting food, saying like, "Oh, they were celebrating the towers fell."
You know,
Remember that?
you touched a bit about politics. It's the people who want your children to marry the same sex and this, that, and the other. You talked about you talked about that. You talked about these other people who bring in the Muslim immigrants into America. And
Well,
all
I've seen the first parade when it's a little bit after October 7th. They had the big parade here on that main road there.
Do you live in England?
No, I just travel around the world.
Okay.
I've been traveling for years now.
Okay, so this must be your second time after the October the 7th. You're back
I've
down in
been here.
London.
I've been here about 4 times.
Do you think 9/11? Who did the 9/11 according to you?
Well, if you could look up.
Do you think you've been sold a story to say Muslim were the scapegoat here for them?
Well, it's awful funny. Excuse me. We have a 20-year war on terror, and then our leaders want to bring you here.
Right. Okay.
Is
that's
that not
fine.
weird?
No, we understand what's going on there.
Yeah.
But because you've been told in different times and different things, right? And then you know what's happening with the media. I tell you, this is how I see it, right?
Yes.
So if you know the story of Moses,
Yes, sir.
right? So the story of Moses is that when the Pharaoh gave him a challenge with his magician,
Yes.
and it was about turning the stick into a staff, right?
Yeah.
You see, the way the magician used to trick the people, is they would cast a spell on people's eye, so they see.
Yeah, he stole all the gods there.
Yeah.
All the plagues were against the gods.
Not the plague. I'm not talking about the plague. I'm talking about when the magician they use magic.
Yeah.
Often they do something to delude the people from what they see.
Yeah.
So they cast a spell on the eyes.
Kind of like
basically.
television.
You get me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this is how they used to do it in the past, right?
Mm-hmm.
What they're doing today is they're using the media in the same way.
Yes.
So
they are.
first of all, if you look at October the 7th, right, and what they said and what had happened and everything, one of the most worrying thing for anyone would be when they heard that the unaliving of babies and all that, right, beheading and all that, right? But nothing of that has been proven.
Well, also, I remember the first Gulf War, they said, oh, they went in the hospital and they killed all these people. They didn't tell you, well, we're slant drilling into Iraq from Kuwait and taking their oil. It was, oh, they're killing babies in a hospital.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I know you know they're liars.
Okay.
They're liars.
So when you're talking about they're the liars, right?
Yeah.
What is your understanding about these groups of people, what they believe in, and have you ever heard of something called the New World Order?
I believe the New World Order is these monarchies in Europe. You got Norway, you got the Denmark, and you got the Anglo-Denmark alliance. And they're the ones pushing this war in Ukraine.
And could they have also made it into the state, into the Congress?
Oh yeah.
Right.
You know that type of people too.
Right.
You know those people. And they say they're the chosen.
Right.
Which one are chosen?
Right.
Is it the Yiddish? Is it the Ashkenazis? Is it the ultra Orthodox? Is it the gay ones that hold the largest gay parade in the world? Are they the chosen? You know what I mean?
The chosen one, they are hijacking, as I understand. They're hijacking because in the past, the children of Israel were the chosen people of God, right?
The chosen was that a Messiah was going to be born through.
Yeah, they are
but
not.
God divorced them in Amos.
Yeah.
He gave them a bill of divorce.
Yeah. They are not chosen anymore.
No.
Because of the iniquities, right?
Yeah.
Like all the blessing that used to come to them has shifted to what is now. Listen, what is now, and you're not going to like it. It is actually Islam. You get me? I'll tell you why, right?
Okay.
Because you have Abraham as the father of the nation, right? Now, his firstborn is is Ishmael,
Ishmael.
right?
Yeah.
And then from his first marriage comes
He
his
had
second
more,
boy.
didn't he?
I'm
Before
not
Isaac, he had like 7.
about the Azkanazi or something like this, right?
Yeah.
Right? Did this tribe originally they come out of Europe? Did they come from around the Caucasus Mountain?
Something like that, or Ukraine, Hungary,
Something
somewhere.
like
It was
that,
like
right?
the Scythians, right? Magog.
Okay, okay. So let's follow this, right?
Okay.
Let's follow this. So when they came, they basically what they did, they hijacked two religions. Part of Judaism, a portion of them embraced, and portion of them took
The
Christianity.
synagogue of Satan's what we call it.
Christianity, yeah.
Yeah.
Christianity, they took that, right? Then through the World War II, right? The real children of Israel,
The middle class Jews off. The rich ones escaped. They killed them in a Holocaust, so sacrificing your own people, right? That's what a Holocaust is. Burn them in the fire. They burn the babies in the fire. It's a Holocaust, right? Am I correct?
yeah.
But anyhow, so they killed all the poor Jews off, mixed ones. I think that's why Hitler was doing all the racial stuff, like showing you ain't a Jew, you're a white guy acting like a Jew, right? That's what that was all about. I don't tell you that in history class, but
What I'm trying to explain to you
yeah,
is that when you look at the group of people, for instance, these Ashkenazi Jews
yeah,
who are the Zionist entity, right? That's their root, right? Part of them became Jews and part of them became Christians, right? And so you see, when Hitler did what he did with the real Jews, the children of Israel, right? And then the world didn't want people started condemning that, and that had to come to an end. When that came to an end, and they had to take the people out from Germany, it was at this time that that entity came in saying we are also Jews, and portion of them with these real people, they went out to whatever out
yeah,
of Europe and
yeah,
everything, right? Probably came to England, probably came to America and all that, right?
yeah,
Then
yeah.
and then
And we started getting pornography,
And then-
and we started getting
yeah.
all the crazy stuff
Yeah.
that Europe was trying to get rid of, right?
You know, it's interesting you say that. I'm going to pause it here for a second.